he was the guy, who put it together. And then, a few months later, I was the guy that put it together, and he, partnered with me, which is pretty neat. That's the way it works, guys. Big deals, you got to definitely network. So that's how I did it. I just connected with somebody and be like, how can I be of value? And let's roll, right?
You're listening to Flip Empire, the show committed to helping real estate entrepreneurs who want to build their empire without sacrificing their life. Your success and freedom starts now with your host, Alex Pardo.
So talk to me about that first project. Did you, because it sounds like you had a very specific role, which was raising capital. Did you find or connect with an operator that already had the deal? Did you find the deal? Like what? Yeah. Talk about the structure and how you got involved.
All right. So you can't get paid just for raising money, right? So I had some other, other tasks to do, like some due diligence work, some, I helped with some estimates on the construction side. So I had a couple of other items to do but I was still able to, raise some money for the project. And so this other operator had the project, his first big project in Charleston, South Carolina. And actually later on, we actually bought another building, a 208 building together, which I brought, he partnered up with us. It was like reverse, right? Like I helped him. He was the guy, who put it together. And then, a few months later, I was the guy that put it together, and he, partnered with me, which is pretty neat. That's the way it works, guys. Big deals, you got to definitely network. So that's how I did it. I just connected with somebody and be like, how can I be of value? And let's roll, right?
Yeah. Yep. And what I really hope people are hearing loud and clear is that the way that you've approached this business and life, Javier, is not with your hand out asking for something, but it's how do I contribute? How do I give? Yep. How do I help somebody? And in return, the scales are going to be tipped in your direction at one point or another. But I love the fact that you immersed yourself into, hey, how do I add value? How do I contribute a piece of the deal? And that's what I want people to understand, is that you don't want to be the lone wolf that's trying to like take 100% of the grape versus, like Tim Brott says, 50% of the watermelon, right? Like the bigger deals, you can figure out, carve out a piece for yourself based on what you can contribute and bring to the table. So that was your first deal, 60 units. How many units do you guys have now?
It's 690. So really the last 620-ish have really come in the last 12 months. Really, like that's been our biggest growth. Because when we got started, like we had a couple of deals under contract early part of 2020, and COVID hit. All our loans got pulled. Yeah. So for like 7 months, we didn't do anything from our first deal. And then we ended up closing like in June, July, and then just bam, right? Like the last year, I really bought over 600 units really in the last 12 months.
And that's not uncommon I'm not talking about the quantity. That's incredible what you've done in the last 12 months. But I have found that people that transition into multifamily, once they get their first deal closed, it almost seems like a domino effect after that. Is that accurate?
That's true. And the more you buy, the easier it gets. As crazy as that sounds.
Yeah. No, I get that. Well, man, so here you are, September 2019. I'm gonna burn the ships. I'm gonna tear down creative destruction. I'm gonna go into multifamily. 2.5 months later, you close your first 60 unit. 4 months after that, COVID hits America and essentially the world. Now we're in a pandemic. What's your mindset around that time? Mid-March, beginning of April. Here you are now. You have a bunch of units. We got this uncertainty with COVID and the pandemic. What's the mindset like? Kind of take me into what you're feeling during that period.
Oh man, it's just my number one strategy, right? It's all about the purchase price, right? Purchase price or your terms. So we're like, all right, guys, let's see what we're going to get. We're either going to get a stupid great deal, like super discounted, or we're going to get our terms, right? And that's just the way I went every day. Like people are still buying. I mean, people are still buying. People are still living. Yep. Even in 2008, 2009, 2010, people were still buying, still making money. But how much discount did you want to buy, right? Do you want to buy it 50% on a dollar, 60% on a dollar, right? Where did you want to be to feel comfortable buying an asset? And nobody really knew, right? So we had to come in and start buying stuff like a 60 cents on a dollar, just in case the market did crash, we could exit fairly quickly.
Hope you enjoyed that episode. But before you go, I've had a lot of people recently reach out to me wanting to learn more about Ascend, wanting to understand how the mastermind component works, how the coaching relationship works. And so right now we're actually on a waiting list. But what I would encourage you to do is if you think you're the right fit and you think you could benefit from being a part of our community, head over to ascendyoursuccess.com, watch the short video, and then just click the apply to join button below. below. And then we'll be in contact with you if and when a spot opens up. So really appreciate you listening to Flip Empire here. And I look forward to connecting with you on the next show. Take care.